Hey everybody, Mablak here. Just starting up this stream. It's going to be a CWT match between Leoric and Rafka. Two great players, both in Group E and Crespo's Worms tournament, our big yearly intermediate tournament. They actually both have beaten Udozi, and there's 3 people per group, so both of these players are already advancing, I believe, unless I got something wrong there. So I think we can go ahead and start up. Let me just check if the colors are good for both players. I didn't even say hi to Rafka. Okay. Let's see, red for Leoric. Blue for Rafka. Oh, more complex. All right, he wants more complex. The issue is the players can't see the objects. We can. And there's a solution to that, which is play the map, convert it to a PNG, which you can just do, but we have it as a rule that you can't do that for this tournament. We do it for Chaos, which is fine. So I don't know. Like, I wish I could do it here, but I just cannot, I guess. Okay. All right. Looks like we are good to go. All right, Rafka versus Leoric. Good luck and have fun. GLHF. Okay, so Rafka's blue, Leoric is red. Rafka's up first. Let's take a look at these positions. Okay. Interesting. Usually a good idea to start off with the select worm. There's always at least a worm to move somewhere. Sort of want to keep in mind preventing double kills. You're probably not going to be able to prevent every single kill on your worms, but you can probably prevent every double kill. Okay, we have a classic bow into the barrel. I think this kills. Okay, the flames were kind. I would say that's not a 100% guaranteed kill. Flame RG can mess about with the worms. That was pretty cheap, though. That was just a worm select. That's all it took. Okay, Leoric's going for a rope knock. And this could lead to, honestly, a double kill. But is he going to take another rope? Or can he get up there? Oh, yeah. Oh, he's going for the cheap method. Not too costly. But I think the price of this is it may not kill both worms. May come close, but not quite. Very close. Gets them both below 25, so they could be finished off with shotgun. Usually in these cases, it's wise to split up your worms, because that gives you a whole extra turn, basically. Okay, Rafka now using rope. Oh, this could be a problem for Leoric. Get a strong knock here. Oh, he doesn't quite get the knock. Okay, Rafka on his third rope. I think it's worth it, honestly. This cow's here. This is gonna be a bloodbath. Oh, he gets all three. I'll say good job to that. 3 ropes, 3 worms. You know, that's going to be hard to recover from, but those are the sorts of things you have to spot. There's a potential triple kill on you. You know, let's say you don't want to use like 3 worm selects. You could use a girder. Make sure it doesn't happen. Usually there's some kind of workaround. And it looks like Leoric is leaving his worm still a bit vulnerable. There's 2 worms on the right. Striker and Ben. Yeah, those worms are looking just way too juicy. Okay, Rafka uses a 4th rope. You get 5 ropes in this scheme. 1 jetpack, 1 low gravity. Wow, he just sets off the mine. I think I needed to take another look at that mine. I wasn't even thinking that it was going to set off the barrel. I was just thinking of just lay the dynamite, don't worry about the mine. Yeah, this is going to hurt. Let's see what we got. Okay, not quite a kill. So Leoric, you know, situations like these, it's very difficult. But Rafka's used 4 ropes. So, I mean, I think the thing to do would be try to retreat to the right side of the map, where Rafka's worms aren't. Try to wait it out. Just make sure that he can't get to you. Also, sorry to the viewers, I am not used to keeping track of weapons while commentating, so I am going to keep on missing these. We saw that Leoric used a rope there. I don't even think I have the numbers right. I think Leoric only used maybe 1 more select. So Rafka has such a commanding lead, he's not even worried about skunking his own low health worm there. So Rafka has 8 worms versus Leoric's 4. This is just not something that you can easily recover from. You can try to stay out of danger, because Rafka can't really get to you if you stay high and to the right. Dynamite hoping to deal just 20 to Abel. Oh, wow, that was actually a very nice bounce. That was quite impressive, actually, doing a little extra damage to Maddie. It's actually a nice block. It looks like he can't quite get through. Okay, I'm curious how Leoric's gonna try and survive this. Sorry, I don't have the numbers right for Rafka. He's at 4 ropes. Okay, another worm select used by Leoric. Maybe he's trying to save Striker here. Now, he could kill Tom by shooting through that little gap. Okay, well, this is an interesting option. So, by shooting this worm, now there's Tom and Maddie, those two worms. So they could be killed with a shotgun. So he's at least setting that up. It takes a lot to counter a triple kill on yourself, though. It's pretty damn hard to recover. Well, that's interesting. He's just going for a self-kill on his own worm here, just to do a little extra damage to Leoric. I'm not sure if that accomplishes anything. It may be, no difference either way, because I think either way Leoric would kill Maddie and the worm that just died. Yeah, that is a bit hard to say. So, Rafka has, sorry, Leoric has some options here. It's a losing battle, but just taking out those worms, very important. Whenever possible, you gotta aim to take out at least a worm per turn. That certainly applies to the first, turn or two. Sometimes there's just no one-turn kills you can get. Okay, choosing an Uzi Yeah, reasonable choice. Uh, so yeah, Rafka chose Uzi just so that, because shotgun will make a bigger hole, he doesn't want that because, you know, there's a hole down there, maybe a gata could get pushed in. Okay, and Leoric definitely would need to escape or stall Rafka in order to have any chance here. I think Rafka still has at least a select worm, so there's no real place to escape to at this point. Yep, gotta at least try. And yeah, since this worm is low health, Leoric, that worm, just torching through works. Hiding in the torch tunnel, classic move. That makes it so that if you girder the left side or the right side, there's still an escape hatch. Okay, so Leoric is one worm versus 4 of Rafka's. If he formulates the right plan, maybe there's a way for him to pick off, like, Domin, because that worm's right there. But there isn't really a super easy way to do that aside from, say, just laying a mine on the train, then activating it later. It's a classic trick. I think he should try to do something to kill that worm Domin, because 1 versus 3, that's, you know, not 100% impossible, but then 1 versus 4, that's reaching that realm of, like, actually impossible once sudden death hits. Unless your opponent makes a mistake. Yeah, that happens. See, is he trying the mine strat? Okay. See if that works for him, or if maybe he gets, like, kamikazed. It's probably the case that kamikaze would kill. A lot of times people wait in these situations just to make, like, extra sure. So I think what Rafka has right now is, like, 1 rope and 1 jetpack. And low gravity, I think. It's pretty much enough ways to get up there. Wow, makes a hole. Okay, that puts the pressure on. Yeah, it's kind of like, why not? Just, you know, open him up. You got so many worms. Okay, he wants to close the hole off. Looks like Rafka doesn't want to risk doing a kamikaze. He certainly could try, and he probably would get it. Kamikaze does 30 if it hits directly. If it pushes the worm onto the mine, the mine would only have to do 25, which, you know, if you're standing on top of the mine, it's going to do like 39. Yeah, tough situation. Well, it's getting to the point where Leoric could try to start formulating a plan around sudden death when all the worms drop to 1 HP. Okay, he's trying to get sort of out of range of Kamikaze. I'm also not sure if we saw him use his super weapon, so he could be using pigeons. So Rafka used cows. I do not recall if we saw... I don't think we saw Leoric use cows. Cows are the standard most effective super weapon, but in caves, pigeons are a possibility. Very useful for sudden death. You can shoot them around the map. Even though worms cannot go outside that boundary of the map, animals can. There's pretty much no way to guard against a kamikaze. You know, I think he has one girder remaining, maybe. Yeah, there's not a lot he can do with it. Trying to prepare a hide for when the water rises. I don't think he's going to get far, though. Because it should be the case that Rafka kills him right away when sudden death hits. Assuming they successfully wait for that. And it seems like both players do sort of want to wait for that now. Rafka just playing it safe. And sudden death is probably going to hit in about 2 turns now. Okay, Leoric's playing it about as safely as he can. He is getting just outside of death range by Kamikaze. Okay, Rafka can just think about making a way up here. Okay, he's trying to make sure this mine doesn't break through. Yeah, interesting situation. I guess Leoric has that upper mine. Does that break through? I can't really... My judgment is a little off right now. So I can't quite tell if you were to activate the upper mine. Okay, now the upper mine, I think, does break through from above. So yeah, he's got to do something. If he doesn't do something, he's dead the moment that SD hits. He wants sudden death to come on his turn, not Rafka's. But the thing is, yeah, he doesn't... I don't think you want to petrol because you do have to get out there and pull off some kind of crazy quad kill. Like, there's no other way, really. Even just hoping for a tie is, you know, it's about as much as you could hope for. What's up, Killface Kitten? Yeah, it is Worma, as you say. This is Worma. Ooh. There's a little tell for sudden death. So once the sudden death timer runs out, messages, well, what happens is there's a 50% chance that it comes right on the turn when it runs out. 50% chance it comes on the turn after that. So you know it's run out if you stop seeing warning messages on top of the screen, which I just saw. And that means that since it didn't come this turn, it's coming 100% next turn. That is bad for Leoric. He could hope for a mistake. That's about all he can hope for. And he's made it like a little bit hard to kamikaze himself. It looks like Rafka's picking the more difficult route of... That actually seems harder, maybe? Kamikazing straight up from here. Like, he picked the hard way. Well, Leoric's own petrol is working against him here, but... You know, looking at it, he has the ability to potentially escape. He wants to try the lower mine, see if it actually breaks through. It does. That's really good for him. Alright, he's gonna petrol, get a kill, and also block other worms from coming in. Watch out. Okay, he makes his escape. Yeah, it's, he did a good job there, but all Rafka has to do is get up there and kamikaze him. Yep, looks pretty straightforward. Oh, he almost gets him out of the map. Okay, good game. All right, so the score is 1-0. It's going to be first to 3 wins here in this group stage of Crespo's Worms tournament. Okay, so Rafka is at 1. Just reset those weapon counts. Okay. All right, on to round 2. Okay, and if anyone's not aware, the player who starts first, that switches off round by round. As long as you have the game in like rounds mode. Okay, this looks relatively decent. All right. Okay, on to round 2. See if both players are cool with the map. All right. Let's dance. Okay, so Leoric is up first. It's a very blue-heavy left side of the map. Look at that. This is very strange. It's like fort mode already. Red on the right, blue on the left. What's up, Sick RRR? Looking for complexity, we want to make sure that the bottom parts of the map don't get too low, so there aren't too many easy kills. And not like too many areas that are cut off from the rest of the map. If you have too many of those, it can really be damaging, because like on the left, we have sort of that area. It's costing Rafka like a turn to escape from there. Which isn't bad as long as there's, even chances of that happening to both players, but too much of that really sucks. Okay, pretty passive first turn from Leoric, just going for a battle axe. Now, this worm that Rafka's moving now, it might have been smart for Leoric to take out this worm, but I guess either way, Rafka's going to have at least a few worms to strike back with, even though most of his worms are, like, barricaded on the left. Okay, we have a rope and dynamite. So it's a worm select, a rope, and a dynamite. Let's see what the damage is. Oh, doesn't quite get the kill. I think he aimed it fine. Interesting. So Leoric just goes with a girder. He really just wants to make sure the right side is not obliterated. I think that does actually get in the way of Rafka's plan. At least a little bit. Without that girder, I'm sure Rafka would have selected this worm and done a rope knock on Eco, maybe get some cows going. Okay, and Rice does not get hit by the mine, surprisingly. Ooh, I think he was going for a jump knock on the mine. If you jump and land right at the front of the mine, and you have, like, extremely good precision, that will actually knock the mine. Oh, we have an invasion by Leoric. And he also does it while knowing that one of Rafka's right worms is going. Interesting choice. You see this sometimes. Wow, okay, 2 ropes from Rafka. He's spotted a cow move that he likes. Notice the soft knock he just did. That's what you want to do. You want to plan your knock so there's no chance of you getting trapped. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oof. Owie. That just hurts, yeah. 2 dead worms and like 49 damage to Striker. Come on, you gotta get 3. It's gotta be 3. Oh! Wow, that skunk did not want to hit Tom. I guess it was like 1 pixel from going through to hit Doman. I thought there was some chance of getting a quad, but, I mean, only 2 worms skunked. I don't know if that's gonna do much here for Leoric. No, there's too much aggression from Rafka. Oh, the sheep betrays. The sheep bites the hand that feeds. I believe that's a Metallica song. The sheep bites the hand that feeds. Treat your sheep well if you don't want that to happen. Okay, Leoric does rope and dynamite. Make sure to get high up after using that rope. That's a good thing to always do in caves. Make the most of those utilities. So even though Rafka only had 2 worms on the right side of the map, he's still really destroying these worms. Even despite the failed sheep. As Belzorf says in chat, the sheep bought itself in the water. Okay, Leoric takes out one of these center worms. Both players have a bunker that they could retreat to on either side of the map. So the name of the game is worm count. You want to... It seems obvious, but you want to lessen the number of worms that your opponent has. The reason that's not obvious is because sometimes people go by damage. Damage doesn't matter. Like, at all. It's just worm count. When sudden death hits, especially, all your worms are reduced to 1 HP. And at that point, it is 100% worm count. Okay, I like this. There is a double kill possible here for Leoric. He has to get up to the left of Monica. Is he going to be able to see it? Okay. He didn't have to knock this worm. This might be, no. Can't lie to yourself. So the easiest way I was thinking to do this shot, just get up to the land that's a little bit under that cactus. Just aim down and to the right. That would shoot him through. Then you could walk down and shoot Agata. These are those moments you have to really rack your brain and do some kill spotting. It's tough. The main thing is, like, you want to find a way to kill the worm that's, like, as easy as possible. Has as few difficulties. It's not going to go wrong. Oh, that shot was not quite a 25. That was close. Looks like Rafka clears out the left side of all red worms. But at the same time, it looks like Leoric is going to clear the right side of all blue worms. Is this how he wants to do it? Doing that makes some sense because he could go down there and bungee and, like, arrow the worm, but he would have to spend a little while getting that worm back up. So here's where things may get a little interesting. I think both players had some attacks, had some mistakes so far. But at this point, they're both able to just go to the right and left sides of the map, respectively. Which is the fort mode we kind of saw at the very beginning of the map. Also, again, I am not at all keeping good track of the weapons. I was planning to just keep track of the utilities, but I can't even do that. I'm not used to it. They both have at least a bit of mobility left. Not 100% sure if Leoric still has a select worm. Could have been good to select one of these two. Adder or Ben. And Rafka's, it looks like Rafka's doing a rope aiming technique. If you just aim with the rope, it acts just like a laser sight. If you know it's not going to hit anything. That's smart. You don't have too many opportunities to use that. Can't remember the last time I actually got a good use out of a rope laser sight. It's like, it has to be just the right situation. Okay, I think Leoric is hoping for a double kill here. So he needs a knock on this worm. But Rafka positioned that worm very well. This is Leoric's last rope, it looks like. Okay, nicely done. Remember, like I said, it's all about worm count. This was the way to reduce Rafka's worms. There's no other way. So the 2 worms he poisoned did pay off for him, and that's kind of nice. Now, it certainly was costly. 2 ropes there. Leoric's out of ropes. One way you can tell is that if you shoot a rope, and there's no little square with showing the weapon, then, like, usually it'll show, like, a rope right when you shoot it. That shows that you're out of ropes, basically. So it looks like it's turning into a 3v3 fort mode. Pretty sure Rafka's going to be able to take out Ben on the left. Honestly, props to Leoric for holding out, keeping the worm counts even here, even though it seemed like Leoric was on the losing end. I think Rafka missing that sheep might be a bit more costly than we thought. Okay, Leoric just digging a tunnel. Cannot save this worm, it looks like. Okay, that's basically what we expected. This is interesting. It's a 3v3. Definitely the outcome that Leoric wants to avoid is Rafka doing a shotgun to break open, then another shotgun to kill Striker. That would be the way for Rafka to get 3 worms versus 2 instead of 3v3. I think this is going to go to sudden death, though. I also have not been paying enough attention to the weapons to know if Leoric used cows or not. So Rafka used his cows earlier. Yeah, Leoric may have pigeons, I'm not sure. So when you have nothing to do in these cases, you just kind of want to improve your positions, make it so that you can easily access the opponent's part of the map. And maybe you'll find a chance to break through. Lots of ways to break through. The classic way is like, you know, get really close, lay a mine. Don't activate it right away, just activate it on the next turn, and then you can break through on that turn. You don't want to be the first person to break through into your opponent's area. Unless you can attack on that same turn. So both players, once sudden death hits, both players will have all their worms reduced to 1 HP. So because Leoric has lower HP, he wants to avoid that. He's more on the defensive right now. Okay, he's got to really think about how he's going to position these worms. You know, given the water rise. I think Rafka may also be thinking about Leoric having pigeons, so I think he's gonna try and be a little more aggressive and break through. Not just like wait out on the left side of the map. This jump is really annoying, that's weird. Yep, definitely doable. Oh no, don't. Now this jump is, nah, can't break through that. The sudden death messages have not appeared yet. They should start appearing any second now. Once they do, there's 3 minutes on the sudden death timer. So it's 3 minutes of the actual clock ticking down in the lower left, which is the same as 4 full turns. Okay, curious what Leoric will do. Rafka's in a better position to break through than vice versa. I feel like I would do one more shotgun shot. Oh, he is, okay. He's a watch out for his worm, but I think he's making it so that he only has to do one shot to break through, and then maybe able to kill, just jump through and kill Striker with the second shot. Yeah, this is urgent. If you don't block this off, you may be losing the game. So you gotta... It's basically either Girder or Petrol is gonna have to do the job. I guess no easy way to throw Petrol from there, so... Girder it is. If you lose track of Girders too, you can count how many. Just look at the map, count them. Each player gets 3. So I see 5. Let's see, Rafka used 1 there, he used 1 there. I think Leoric has used 3. I want to say. That may be just enough, because that Worm Mohawk can certainly throw a Petrol, stall for more time, make this a really even sudden death game. Okay, each player trying to figure out exactly how to break through. It wouldn't even be a terrible idea to just open up right here, but it is a little risky, because, you know, if Rafka is the one to open up first, just allows Leoric to, like, take a hit at them, it wouldn't be bad. I mean, Rafka would still be in the lead, because, you know, Rafka would be able to kill either Drek or Striker. Okay, sudden death is really fast approaching now. Okay, that's interesting. I don't think, no, that doesn't block off Rafka's path. Rafka could go in there and kill Striker right now, but the timing for this is a little bit iffy. Because if they do that, then Leoric can go to the left, kill Tom and Maddie. So yeah, breaking through it is tempting right now, but sudden death is going to come like in a turn. Okay, looks like the sudden death messages are still coming, so still at least some seconds on the sudden death clock. Oh, it looks like we're going with a barrier. Oh, okay. Using arrows to make a barrier. And that's so that Rafka can't shotgun through the girder, walk to the right, and then shotgun some more. I think Rafka's certainly not happy with this chain of events, because he has 300 health worms. So they're all getting reduced, but he's going to be put on the same footing as someone he did more damage to. Sudden death? No. Okay, no messages at the top of the screen. That means sudden death is 100% coming on Rafka's turn. That's good for Rafka. He'll be able to plan things out exactly how he wants. It's still not easy for either player to make the first move here. Just going to keep burrowing up and to the right, it looks like. There's our sudden death. Okay, the worms are reduced to 1 HP. Now we could conceivably see a telecide here. It is possible for Maddie to telecide onto Auric. It's an even trade though. 1 for 1. What is he worried about here? He's worried about, I think Leoric has jetpack, but no ropes left. Might be worried about him placing sheep or dynamite. The pigeons are afoot. And that is what I thought. Okay, well done. Yeah, that worm was pretty well in pigeon range. There's also a nice way of telling whether the worms are exactly in range. If you just press insert, see those gradient lines in the background? Basically look at the third one from the top. Okay, I don't think Rafka's happy about this chain of events at all. Okay, Leoric is making this invasion a lot more difficult. Yeah, this is this is a tough situation. If Rafka opens now, and I think Leoric has jetpack, they could maybe barely get through once the petrol dies down. It's actually really hard to petrol through there. So the petrol is going to die down, giving probably just enough room to jetpack through. That is actually, that's really good, honestly. Okay, surprisingly tense situation. Wondering if Rafka's just going to wait it out, wait for the petrol to go away. If they do wait for the petrol to go away, I mean, I think you can get in there and do a double kill. Oh, I hope it doesn't stand in pigeon range. Hmm. Yeah, this is, oh. Man, I'm really thinking about Kamikaze here and what that would do. Kamikaze hit Domin, hit the barrel. But is the flame RNG enough to hit Maddie? That's a really tough case, I have to say. It might even be the case that there's a chance that a flamelet could hit Maddie, but most of the time it would not. I feel like I would personally consider this safe enough to break through, activate the mine, just go through there, but Rafka's not feeling too safe right now. There's still just that little bit of petrol, and the tiniest mistake could screw up everything. Looking at this move, it looks like Rafka's also concerned about the oil drum. Now, he may have he did hide a little close to water. That's a little concerning. Okay, I think we're going to see it this turn. Rafka is probably going to break through. If he breaks through, that's going to mean a double kill. Okay, and that's Rafka's last rope. Okay, so he has to take it nice and slow. This is where rope skill kind of matters, actually. Okay, he's being really careful here. Good choice. Okay, he has lots of time. Now he needs to be really careful here also. This is a tense situation. I think it's possible. Okay, Leoric's out of ropes. He wants to get a double kill, but I don't think he has, if he had a rope, he could knock Domin to the right, then just wait for the water to get him next turn. Interesting. Okay, he's just going for the kill. And it looks like he's going to hope that Rafka cannot get to him. So Rafka did use both the jetpack and his final rope. Ooh, this is not... That's really not good. Rafka can do an underwater homing if nothing else. But, I mean, he doesn't have to. He can just... He could just shoot this worm directly, too. Just walk to the right. Oof. Okay. And Rafka gets it. That was a tense one. Leoric did a good job and held his own. So 2-0 for Rafka. First to 3 win, so we're on to islands. Oh, whoops. Forgot I have the extra terrains on. Don't want those. Intermediate is a classic scheme. We only use the classic terrains. Though there are a lot of cool custom terrains we've been using in the Chaos League. Okay, let's get a good one here. Yeah, Rafka said he'd have to go for a draw if Leoric had stayed up there. Okay, this is interesting. Round 3. This time Rafka starts. Both players have some top worms. Usually the first move is going to be bat or dynamite. In this case, there is a double kill. You could knock Aiko into Ben. It does take a little time, though. Moving that worm, just making sure that it can't be piled with Doman for some freak double kill. Okay, getting a single kill is fine as a start. Okay, Leoric's going to return the favor. Probably killing Tom. Let's see. Yeah, just a shotgun. Seems fine. And he gets just the right momentum so that worm slides slowly and activates the mine. Oh, it does a little more damage than I would have thought to Ben. That's not good. Oh. That is tough. I mean, like, it was a bit down to wind, but I didn't think it would do quite that much. Both players taking out one worm on their first turn. And that's really important. Okay, and Rafka chose his worms carefully so that this worm would be next, so that he has another kill just immediately open to him. Okay, cheap kill does not cost him any dynamite. Also gets him closer to having an escape hole for Maddie, where he can at least shotgun his way out. Looks like Rafka might be slowed down. He has that worm Abel trapped. And Maddie is trapped. Okay, we have rope and LG. Okay, Leoric's probably killing this Monica worm just before it escapes anywhere. Okay, good kill. He wanted to make sure that he didn't open up Maddie. You don't want to free your opponent's trapped worms. Those worms are going to slow everything down for Rafka, so... Definitely got to keep him trapped. I don't think he's able to really fully protect Auric, though. Let's see, Rafka's going this route. Okay. Looks like cows, probably. Oh, he gets an unfortunate knock. Bit of bad luck there. Definitely hard to avoid on that particular knock. There's a science to it, to avoiding getting hit by the worm in midair, but it happens to the best of us, honestly. But the thing about Leoric is that he chose pigeons instead of cows, so he can't exert that bovine pressure that Rafka can exert. Leoric cannot let his worms get double piled or they will get destroyed by those cows. Rafka does not have to worry about that with pigeons that Leoric has. Let's count up those worms. So Rafka has 5 fully healthy worms and half a worm. Okay, Leoric has 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 4 fully healthy worms and then 2 half worms. So Rafka is basically a turn in the lead, sort of. I think Rafka had LG, or... Was his first turn LG bat? It might have been that. Okay, trying to dynamite. Okay, clears the tree with a pretty good amount of room. So yeah, Rafka's in the lead, but he does have 2 trapped worms. They are trapped in such a way that, you know, Abel and Maddie, maybe they could escape in just 1 turn. You'd have to destroy kind of the connecting land between them. So that would be a way of sort of saving a turn. Okay, interesting. Leoric is going for Adam. Now, I don't think that's quite enough. You could even tell from the previous dino, which was centered there on the left side of the map, it cleared the tree by a little bit, but then that one, that would be just out of range. I think Rafka's thinking about whether he wants to just open up or select worm and do some damage. He's not going to be able to kill this worm, but yeah, it's not bad. Seems like he could have probably just shotgunned. The thing is, if you keep using select worms instead of opening your trapped worms, it's going to be a real nuisance when you're out of selects. Okay, Leoric, making sure to take out a worm. Okay, Rafka's probably going to do the same, just take out the 50 worm. Especially since there's nothing else for this worm to do. He's got to watch out for his own worm, though. Okay, that was a little bit close. So he doesn't quite open up, it looks like. So Rafka does kind of have like 3 separately trapped worms that he's got to deal with. But he's in the lead. At the very least, they're trapped in such a way that, you know, Leoric can't really get to them super easily. Interesting. Might be the case that he needed to kill this worm, Adam. This is like the only open worm, and it's gonna definitely strike and get a kill. Good shot to Rafka. Nailed that worm. Shows how important homing skill is. To make homing consistent, sometimes it's good to just practice those straight up shots. It's going to sort of curve around the spot you pick. Okay, Leoric goes for a skunk, which makes sense. Okay, Rafka's worms are now starting to get connected. Definitely a curious situation. You know, Leoric has done the better job of having worms that are untrapped and on the outside. but he just can't really get to Rafka's worm. So Rafka has noticed that. He's noticed that his positions, though trapped, also offer protection. It's a very difficult thing. Like anytime you're segmented, you're disconnected from the other worms, you can think of it as a trap or also as protection, and the line between those two can be very blurry. The main thing is like what damage can you do with your open worms, and once they've done all their damage, will you be, in the lead? It seems that way for Rafka. Golden rule, connect your worms to the extent you can. They will be stronger. They'll be able to back each other up. So before Rafka breaks through, he wants all his worms to be connected so that they can all walk to each other. Basically makes it so your worms can kind of gang up on the opponent's worms. If you have more worms, then it's just going to be, you'll just keep doing 50 damage. And you'll just win in the end. Oof, having to use 2 ropes. But he really wants his kill on Adam. Unfortunately, that's the only worm that he could kill. Okay, by doing that, he evens it out a little bit. So 3 worms for Leoric, 4 for Rafka. But due to that advantage, it looks like Rafka's just going to break out of here. It's like, yeah, I'll break out first. I have more worms. It's also the case that Leoric's other 2 worms can't really utilize that hole that's been made. Okay, just hoping to make the most annoying girder that he can to block off that hole. It's pretty respectable. Now it's hard to actually break through that girder in a single turn. Okay, and Rafka just teleports in such a way that he is he will be connected with the other worms once they break that girder. Okay, another rope from Leoric. He has at least 1 rope left, possibly 2. Okay, looks like an attack through the land, through the little gap. Not bad. He does expose Eco to an airstrike, so we'll see if that's worth it or not. Seems like you just gotta kill Eco. Oh, okay. Let me just double check. So I know Leoric has used 2 girders. Maybe they've used 3. If they've used 3, then they can't protect eco. Huh, interesting. Just doing an axe and remaining trapped. Yep, just doing that airstrike. The airstrike has the added bonus of opening these worms up a bit. So that is kind of a 2-for-1 thing, because previously it kind of would have taken 2 shots on this girder to break through that torch hole. Now you just need 1 shot to get to the open air. No sudden death messages yet. They will be starting really soon. It's like Rafka probably wants to do as much damage as possible to this worm without opening. Just battle axe. Like, it would be nice to do more damage, but if you threw a petrol, there might be some chance, and it probably would do more damage, but there might be some chance of the worm bouncing to safety somehow. Yeah, this is a tricky situation. When you get your worm boxed in with other worms, it can be really hard to figure out what's going on, but yeah, Rafka still has a select. Can just easily get a kill. So with 1 versus 4, definitely the case that Leoric wants to wait for sudden death for a few turns. But in the meantime, they definitely want to take out the low health worms if they can. But he might be down to just 1 rope, in which case that's... I mean, not everyone can rope up there with 1 rope. Okay, he's gonna be punished a little bit. It looks like Rafka's gonna at least go over there, do 50. Okay, Rafka has also at least 1 rope left, so... And he has kept cows. Forgot about that. Okay, this may be, I think this is GG. Yep. This cow's hit pretty squarely on. Okay, congrats to Rafka. So he won 3-0 for his group. And since both of these players beat the other player in their group, Udozi, both of them should still be advancing to our playoff stage, which I think is going to be 16 players once all the group stages are done. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining me on this stream. We'll have some more CWT matches. Most of the matches will be streamed by Komito. I'll join him on his channel. Worms Armageddon CWA is the channel. He's got vids on YouTube. He's mostly streaming on Twitch. And yeah, take care everybody.